Yes. Alright. So, I'm here to talk about Magica 2 today, and since you seem to be pretty familiar with the first game, I'm gonna stick to Magica 2. Magica 2 allows players, just as in the first game, to utilize the very special Magica spellcasting system that allows players to combine 8 different elements in different variations, up to 5 of them at any given time, and cast them in 4 different ways. Pretty much exactly the way it worked in the first game. This it becomes a very creative process to, during combat, constantly try to come up with new spells, sort of on the fly in the game. And for Magica 2, we have a 4-player co-op supported single-player campaign, which sounds a bit odd, but you can play single-player or you can play co-op with up to 4 players throughout all the content of the game. And the main feature would be the single-player campaign that is a story-driven adventure in the world of Midgard. There's also going to be some challenge game modes as well, as players might be familiar with from the first game. There's also going to be a lot of other fun stuff. There's going to be much more customization available to the players to select different robes, items. They're going to be able to bring with them different pets called familiars. We also have a new feature called the artifacts, which is essentially an option for players to select their own game rules in different ways. There's going to be a couple of presets where the developers have predefined certain artifact presets, but players are going to be able to customize these themselves. So they're going to be able to increase enemy damage but lower enemy health, and maybe also remove the life element to make things harder. And then they might add a layer on that just for fun. They're going to add sitcom laughter to the game. So during different events in the game, there's going to be an audience laughing depending on what's happening in the game. So it's a bunch of just like fun stuff for players to toy around with. And if they've played the game through once, they can play it again, just like try new rules and new options for the gameplay. So that's pretty much Magica 2 in a nutshell. Should I proceed to gameplay, or would you like to ask questions? No? Okay. Then we'll go right into it. So at this point, the wizards have reached the snowy highlands in pursuit of a prophesized child that they're supposed to save. And as you can see, I'm playing with a PS4 gamepad. And as you see in the UI here, you have the same elements that you would expect from any Magica title. So I'll be able to combine up to 5 of them at a time, and then I can cast them either as a fire spray, I can cast it as a area of effect around me, I can cast it on my sword to use as a fiery sword attack, or I can of course cast it on myself, which is not always useful, but there's a time for everything. I'm gonna hand These are the Beast Kings. They were present in the first game as well. They've gotten a bit bigger role in this game as part of the story. And here we see an orc army that's on the march. They're also trying to get to the prophesized child in order to kill it, but we're here to save it, so we have to reach it before the orcs get there. As you can see, this compared to the first game, I'm much more mobile. I can constantly keep on moving while casting spells, although I'm gonna move a bit slower. I can also move during the self-heal as well, which you couldn't do in the first game. Orcs aren't as susceptible to fire as the beastkin, so I find it better to use cold spells against the orcs. It also slows their movement. It's kind of useful. You can also... they're too quick. Does anybody of you want to try the game? There's an extra gamepad, so you can join in if you want to. Right? So now these guys show up as sort of a mini boss encounter where I have to defeat them to be able to move on. This is actually kind of fun as well. The earth projectiles that I'm sending away, these big stones, they have a tendency to bounce around a lot, which was actually a physics bug to begin with. It wasn't the way it was intended, but it caused so much hilarity during gameplay sessions that we decided to keep it in the game and just make sure that it worked more stable, as they were kind of wonky in the beginning. Yes, of course.
Why is he so fast?
The trolls are... they have a racial trait that makes them regenerate. So what I actually should focus on in getting rid of the goblins there, just to get them out of the way. And then try to kill the troll using fire or ice spells. As ice causes bleeding, it's a good way to counter other enemies' abilities to regenerate. It's going to be very similar in the way of combinations that are available to you, and there I went. Sorry, on the other hand, the demo would have ended shortly after the boss fight, so it's okay.
There were